Welcome back to the channel, folks, and this week we're playing with this, the 2021 KTM 1290 Super Adventure S. Ooh, suit you.
Down in the dirt.
So, it's my first sit on the brand new 2021 KTM Super Adventure S. Now, there's a big thing being made about the comfort of this seat, and I can actually tell you, I can see why. It feels a nice place to be. Let's switch her on for the first time. So, what do we have here? Ride mode, I want that in sport. That'll do me. Okay, so let's just have bog standard. We're in sport mode. We have everything. Let me pull that down there. You can see on this new TFT, we'll run all through this in the more detailed review. This is just going to be the first ride review. But you can see on the TFT, it shows you your ABS setting, your traction control settings, the preload settings, suspension. You've even got heated grips. You've got the fuel gauge. All the information you want is there. It's a big old TFT. Well, I think it's a TFT. Big old screen. Beautiful. I obviously have my ultimate add-ons with Kalimoto, chucked in a little twisty route app to get me from Silverstone all the way back home. So let's go ahead and let's have some fun. It's a very light clutch. I love this. I do love this engine. This is the 1290 engine from the Gen 3 Super Duke. It's obviously just been tweaked a bit to fit in with the Super Adventure sort of style. But I have no doubt this is going to be a lot of fun. So it's got blipper, it's got quick shifter, nationals. Blipper feels really smooth, much smoother than the GS. Oh, better bring that speed down. Wow, that's deceptive. Okay, let's just see what the pickup's like. That's in 5th gear. Oh my good god. Oh my good god. Wow. That has got punch. That's in 5th gear. And it took off like that. I can tell you straight away, this feels way more athletic than the GS does. Wow. Wow. Oh man. I feel lower down than the GS. I feel like I don't feel perched on top of the GS. But on this, I feel like I'm part of the bike. The handling actually feels sharper. Just in this 5 minutes I've been on the bike, the handling already feels sharper, like pinpoint accurate. Now I've got the preload set at 0. On this, you can adjust, like the rear shock if you like, you can adjust that to sort of tilt the bike aggressively forward, which will improve your handling and things. And I feel like I want that just changed slightly, so I'll do a few more miles, but I will do that. I'll have a little play. 3rd gear, nationals. Oh wow. Gee whiz. Oh god. Oh no. I know already. I know already. Unless this thing falls apart like some comedy circus bike in my garage in terms of like stereotypical traditional KTM reliability, which I don't think they're like anymore. There's probably some KTM owners out there screaming at me at the moment going, no, don't do it. This feels like an incredible bike already. This has got that same grin factor that the Super Duke R has, but it's just ever so slightly tamed down, and it feels like a different sort of riding position. It's like the Super Duke R, but it's grown up a bit. A little bit of worldly experience to it. It's seen some things, man. Oh my good god. I've not even got this into 6th gear yet, you know, you just don't need it. Those brakes feel good. Wow, every every time you twist that throttle, there's punch. Everywhere. Everywhere in the rev range there feels like there's grunt. You think you've got that, boom, that burst of acceleration. You turn it a bit more and bang, there's another one. Oh, slow it down, smart, slow it down. This is going to be a fun couple of weeks. I just hope I can A, keep my licence long enough, and B, stay alive long enough to enjoy it. What a bike. This has just put a grin on my face. This, like the Super Duke R did, that put a grin on my face straight away. This is doing the same. Oh no. Heidi, what have they done to me? Let's see though, let's see. It's what these sort of long-term reviews are like. This is just the first ride review. Which we cancel the indicator. I don't like that. How do you cancel the indicator? That's a bit annoying, I've got to admit. Doesn't seem like you can cancel the indicator by pushing straight down. Doesn't seem to do anything. It's weird. Now, does this have hill assist? This is supposed to have hill assist. How do you put that on? See what I mean? Look, it's indicating. If I just push. Oh, so I indicate there and push. Oh, yeah, it is. It's just very tricky to work, that's all. So this suspension, it has fully adaptive suspension. You can turn that off if you want, and you can do it totally manual. But when it's on auto, it's like the GS. The bike monitors A, your riding style, and B, the sort of terrain that you're currently riding over. So if it thinks, okay, you're just in a sort of ploddy mode on tarmac, then it'll adjust the suspension accordingly. If it then thinks, all right, now you're pushing on, you're giving it some, you're riding hard into the corners, with all the sensors, it's reading, you know, how far the bike's leaning, how aggressive you're using the throttle and the brakes, how are the wheels coping with the current surface, are they managing to keep contact with the road enough, all this sort of stuff. And it might firm the suspension up, it might ease it off, it'll do all sorts. And then obviously if it then detects, all right, now you're going off-road here, it'll soften everything up for you as well. The GS has that sort of thing in it, but I don't think it has quite the amount of... This is a 6D sensor, I believe, in it, whatever that means. But you can also whack this on the total manual mode and set everything up as you like. Oh, that feels nice, leaning into the roundabout. There's those signs, people. Nationals! People, you definitely do not need any more power for the road than what this thing has. I'm saying only, I can't believe I'm saying only, but I think this has something like 160 brake and 138 or 140 newton meters of torque, something like that. And that's insane to come out my mouth by saying only, but going by today's figures, it's good, but it's not like out the ordinary good, if you know what I mean. But this definitely feels punchier than certainly than the GS, the 1250. How many times can I mention GS? But this is going to be a direct comparison, because ultimately that's what the market this thing is going for. It's the GS riders who, you know, they want a bit more of a hooligan from their bike. I'd suggest this definitely is that. The market for this bike, and I'm going to say this right now, is me. I think I am the type of biker that this bike is being aimed at. I want the comfort of the big adventure bikes, but I still want that little hooligan element, that dangly tickle that I always go on about. I tell you what, I'm grinning from ear to ear. What used to sort of set the GS apart from me was the telelever suspension. So, you know, you don't get that dive when you ease off the power or you touch the brakes. The front doesn't dive, the whole bike just sinks in, it's lovely. This now has anti-dive. You can turn it off or you can have it on. That could be a game changer. It feels a very similar ride to the GS, to be honest. The foot pegs feel a little bit higher up, actually. I feel more squashed into the... that's the wrong term. I feel like I'm sat lower in the bike and like my knees are slightly higher. At the moment I'm not sure if I like that or not. There we go! Nationals! Right, 4th gear from 30 mile an hour. Oh yeah, she's got punch. She's got pull. 3rd, 4th, 5th, doesn't matter. Horse poo. Does that mean there are horses up here? Oh, we're okay there. So you can see this is a bumpy back road. Suspension's coping with that, lovely. Bike doesn't feel out of shape in the slightest, you know. I feel like I want to crack on. Obviously I'm not going to because I'm on camera. This is a lovely route so far. Thank you, Kalimoto. Cheers for that. He says, screwing up the corner. Alright, so you know, I was late there, still in 5th gear, which is totally the wrong gear for that corner. But the bike wasn't protesting, it was fine. Didn't feel out of shape. Throttle delivery was still great. The brakes are, it's a weird one. I pull on the brakes and they're like really easy. Like a soft feel to the lever. And I'm thinking, am I pulling on the brakes here? Am I pulling enough? I think it's just calibrating your brain, getting used to how these brakes work. But they're doing the job, absolutely. Oh, even that blipper is lovely. Definitely a lot smoother than the BMW. Quick shifter and blipper. Right, 3rd gear, 30 miles an hour. What's the pickup like? Oh, I love this engine. Oh dear. I know I should be more responsible, but you know, this is why I ride a bike. Bikes like this are why I ride motorbikes. I feel like I'm 14 again. Oh, okay KTM, where do I sign? No, I can't. But I tell you, I can see KTM selling bucket loads of these. If you're a sports bike rider and you just fancy that bit more comfort, oh man, you've got to try one. You have got to try the Super Adventure.
I do like it. What do you think of the looks? What do you think looks wise? I don't think it's a bad looking bike at all. Genuinely, I don't. Come and have a look at the front. KTM make quite a big thing in the press pack about how much work they've done around the headlight. They've got to accommodate obviously the radar at the front for the adaptive cruise control, but they've also tweaked the front apparently because allegedly the older one got a bit hot or something. I don't really know. I haven't ridden it in the dark yet. This is just the first ride review, don't forget. So in the longer term review, I will be doing some nighttime riding and I'll get back to you with that. But all in, I don't think that is a half bad looking bike.
Right, cruise control. This has the new fad, ACC, automatic cruise control. Now I tried this on the BMW RT and it was actually really good. So let's see what this system's like. So activate cruise control, hit the big button on the left there. Now you set the speed, there's a plus here and on the other side there's a minus, so you can set your speed there. Okay, so automatically this is just keeping me at a set distance from this lorry in front. I can increase my speed all I like, you can see there I'm increasing the speed up to 70 miles an hour, but we're not going to get any quicker because it's maintaining this gap. Now I can even change gear, watch this. So I can change gear, I can even change down. Watch what happens if I move out here. Obviously this white van's going a little bit quicker. Oh, that blooming indicator's a pain in the bum. So you should be able to see we start to speed up, which we are. Look, we're overtaking this big lorry now. And see, this is keeping us a nice distance from the white van in front. Oh. See what happened there? I did not touch the throttle. I didn't actually touch the throttle there. I just moved out a little bit from behind that white van and automatically the bike sped up. So let's come back in. You can see I'm not touching the throttle, but I'm ready for the brake, etc. if I need, okay? The bike will inherently just use throttle initially. You know, if it detects an obstacle up front, it's going to ease off the gas and try and use engine braking. But it will brake, you know, if it needs to brake all of a sudden. How that would work in an emergency situation, I really don't know, and I'm not going to test that. Cruise control for me, it's not automatic pilot, you don't just switch off. But it just means you can sort of ease your right wrist a little bit from being on the throttle. So adaptive cruise control, what do you think, folks? I thought adaptive cruise control, why on earth do you need that on a bike? And you don't need it. by any stretch of the imagination. You don't need cruise control, but cruise control is a really handy thing to have. And this adaptive cruise control, it's one of these things that until you actually try it, you then start thinking, well, how did I survive without this? It's a really handy thing to have. Again, that blipper, beautiful. For a big old adventure bike, that is really nice. Oh, that changes direction, lovely. You know, the flip-flop off the roundabout, great. So this is the preload adjust. If we go down preload adjuster, I'm just going to whack that up. Now you see, can you see on the bike how the bike moves? It's a good thing about this dash, it's got a full sort of graphical representation of everything that you're adjusting. It will show you in the screen as well. Oh, straight away that feels better. Set at 20%. I just feel like I'm tipped a little bit more forward. Oh my good God! I haven't breathed. Wow. Oh jeez. Oh. Oh man. I've been enjoying myself a lot on this bike. This bike as a road bike is incredible. Incredible. For a tool to just hit the road and enjoy the sort of roads we have here in the UK, what a bike, what a bike. Now I'm not going to do it in this first ride review, but I will take this and do a little bit of off-roading. There's some sort of green lanes near me, so I'm going to give them a bash on this. Now they're not going to be anything special, I'm not going to be like Graham Jarvis here, but I'll give it a little shot, just for you. Oh, that camera's dead. Nationals. This thing is effortless to ride, but at the same time it's very engaging. I do think sometimes the BMW can almost be too good. You know, it's almost too refined, because it sometimes just takes a little bit of the just some of the excitement and the thrill. It just takes out the ride sometimes. Everything's too easy. You can ride the GS fast and it doesn't make any fuss. Not like this makes a fuss, but you feel, whoa, wait there, but you feel like you're going quick, you know. I think that's the KTM tag, isn't it? Feel the ride. Well, you definitely do with their bikes, in a good way. This thing is no exception. Genuinely, folks, I am loving it. The suspension is great. The way it just sort of adapts to whatever you're riding along. I wouldn't have said it's as smooth a ride as the BMW. It feels a sportier ride, definitely. Now, on this first ride review, I'm not going to go through all the different engine modes. I'm not going to go like practically, you know, I'm not going to try them out myself. I'll do that over the course of the next couple of weeks. So when I do the full review, then we'll go through all the different engine modes, engine settings, suspension modes, settings, everything like that. I might even see if I can utilize the KTM My Ride app as well, as that has, you can incorporate that with this great big screen. This is literally just first ride review, the meat and two veg of this bike. What is it like to ride? And I'll tell you what, people, it is brilliant. That's what it's like to ride. Right, it is time for the little lanes by the look of it. That indicator is really doing my box in. It's a bad design because the indicator switch itself is quite pointed, like a pyramid looking at you, so it's not like there's a firm bit of purchase to put your thumb against, so you're never sure if you're pushing the indicator like the slider switch left or right or anything. That's about my only negative so far on this bike, the indicator switch. Okay, so that's the off-road bit done. Oh dear, never gets old. Right, let's go and have a proper chat. But what do you think? You tell me.
I think this thing could well be a GS killer. I genuinely think this is going to be giving the GS a run for its money. If there's folk out there who are just fancying a change from their GS, then I would suggest you chuck your leg over this. Or if you're coming from like the sports bike market and you think, I think I maybe just need a wee bit more comfort. I fancy just a little bit more comfort. Honestly, this thing, you don't need anything quicker. It's already an utter hooligan on the road. It is so much fun. I feel like I'm 15 again. I love this thing. I genuinely love it, and I cannot wait to spank the next couple of weeks with it. We're gonna have some fun. All right then folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. Keep on doing your thing. Keep on getting on out there whenever you can. Look after those that you love, but most importantly, live your life. Woo-ha! And buy one of these. Oh, suits you.
That's where I got married. Chunbury Farm. Fantastic day that was. What a party. Thank you very much to everybody that came along. And a huge thank you to Mrs. Teapot for organising it. If I do it again, I'll make sure I use your services. She'll kill me for that.
This has got to be the busiest little back road ever. There was no one on it when I got here, and now it's turned into the M25. Honestly, I mean, look. The one time there's a break in the traffic, a bloody can rolls down the hill.